ShinRobjira.
SH MonsterArts has undoubtedly pulled a trump card with this here box, as this is probably one of the most impressive hunks of cardboard I have seen come out of this line in quite a while. Complete with hieroglyphics, a very shiny Blue Eyes White Dragon photo on the front, and a really cool looking cracked window on the back. This is solid star worthy. Before we get started, I did want to give a quick little shout out to my latest $1 patron, Undertaker Dan. Don't steal my soul, and I hope you enjoy your time as a patron of mine. Paint and detail. So this is gonna be quick. Yeah, this figure's mostly going to be white and metallic blues skittered about. If you watched the unboxing of this video, you'd know that I was a little tiny, kinda let down by the overall color scheme of this, as I saw more white than I did blue. But the more I messed around with the figure and posed it, and really looked at it, I started to care less and less. The figure shines something beautiful in the right amount of lighting, and I cannot deny that it looks exceptionally elegant. And like what was said in the unboxing video, the monster's name is Blue Eyes White Dragon, not Blue Eyes and Blue Dragon, you know? Yes, it may not match how the monster looked in the anime for the most part, but are we really going to deny the beauty that is on display here? SH MonsterArts did a damned masterpiece level job on this paint. The powdery and shimmery paint job going across the many different pieces of the wings, moving into its back, its lower body, legs, and tail. The biblically accurate wrinkles and shininess to this thing. Not to mention the armor-plated detailing of a decent percentage of this figure's body and skin. I really do think elegant is the correct term to use here because, yeah, it's elegant. Moving up from the back to its neck and more of its neck, yeah, that white is going to be very prominent. But what I like about how this figure is painted is just how the blue is added to certain areas to really accentuate on something, almost acting like a shading method, per se. I mean, if you look at the segmentation of the body over here, most of the blue is going to be on the edges and pointed parts, while the rest is going to be white, with a little bit of blue capping off the tips as they move into different segments. It's actually quite masterful. And then you have the outline of the neck over here. A decent enough looking detail, but with the blue just strewn across it as it separates the armor-plated look for the underbelly look. I really can't be anything but impressed. Moving on to the face and head at large over here, I mean, the intense lines in contrast with the overall crystalline look of the figure is beautiful. The intensity of the eyes, the wrinkling of the skin, the sharpening of certain edges. It almost feels poetic talking about this figure. Truly, in a way that I can't even begin to understand. It just looks friggin' pretty. Pretty and competent in such a way where it almost feels like this wasn't done up by SH MonsterArts. I mean, I just want to say real quick, I know I've been obscenely critical of SH MonsterArts in the past, and now I'm kind of just getting the hell over it. But beyond all of that, this is an exceptionally praisable figure. I really didn't think they would be able to cap this thing off and make it look anywhere near as good as they were promising it to. Admittedly though, looking at some of the promo photos of this thing, the blues did look a bit deeper there, but the overall paint scheme was mostly just shown off there, making this not so much feel like a Grand King switcheroo, but more so just a damn good figure. Yeah, I'm gonna be giving this noble and also royal looking dragon 2 solid stars in terms of paint and details. Ultimately, the figure didn't look the way I was expecting it to, but somehow despite all of that, I still have managed to find quite a lot to love about this thing. So much so to an extent where I genuinely don't feel like I wasted over $90. Not without some strange abrasions, of course. Be it a scratch in the paint, or whatever the hell that's supposed to be. I can't sit here and complain about those small little abrasions when I really do love how this figure looks entirely. So, yeah, 2 solid stars. Accessories. My god, does this look like some cock and ball torture type shit right here. The arm out in front is going to be your standard Tamashii looking stand. Hinges that can also swivel at the base. And on top of that stand, we had this very beautiful beam effect. Coursing with simple detailings, lovely blues, and just an overall cool look to it. Adding this to this stand setup is quite easy, and overall, not at all intimidating. Very nice. The stands on the side of the base that I had, these are meant to cup the wings. They look all funny and graboid-esque, but they're going to feature a long, more slender build than the standard Tamashii norm, and those weird little ziti noodles. And then we have the cock cradle for that of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Holds it rather well, can swivel at the base and bend back and forth, and it'll swivel over here too. You know, this base in and of itself could be a Yu-Gi-Oh monster. I summon the great Tamashii Standatron! Bad Yu-Gi-Oh jokes aside, it's nice to get a beam effect with a figure that costs over $100 in the US store, and it's nice to get multiple stands to keep the figure in good condition. Solid star in terms of stand and accessory inclusion. And hey, wouldn't you know it, getting Blue Eyes on the stand over here is actually quite easy, and you really don't need the side arms over here. But overall, you're gonna want to use them if you're gonna have this thing on the stand in a flight pose, as you can really lean those wings into those cupped parts for the spikier part of the wing to really alleviate any kind of stress the joints may feel over time. It's kind of like a bra, just for dragon wings, not titties. And since the beam effect is a glorified white cheddar cheese ball with blue hues on it, it's not exactly going to be obvious how you need to place it in front of Blue Eyes, save for put the flashier part out in front with the not so flashier part in the back. And you're golden there, pony boy. Such a beautiful display. I'm gonna tack on an extra 3 solid stars for that. Yes, 3 solid stars. It's just that good. Great even. Figure of the year worthy also. Alright, time to put figures next to each other now. Blue Eyes White Dragon will be standing at just 7 inches tall, but if you fully extend the neck, it will be just about at 9 inches tall. Movie, King, NECA, Sham, Gorg, Yu, Ki, Can you imagine an SH MonsterArts Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon? Big, but not massive. Just right. So in terms of articulation, this mouth can open and then close right back up again. It's on a ball joint, so you can give it slack jaw if you want. The tongue will also be on a ball joint, so it can move up and down and all around. At the head over here, we're going to have to bend it a bit. These 2 plates of armored skin will actually be able to shift up and down just like that, giving it a nice little seamless look. There is, of course, going to be a bit of a ball joint over here, allowing you to swivel, look up and down, and all that other stuff, but I'm not even going to bother doing this all separately. Let's just show you how far back the heck can go. Peekaboo! And then right back down with exceptional ease and a beautiful bend. Hello! Such extravagant ball jointy in nature will allow you to move from side to side very, very deeply. And you know what? It's actually nice. It's strong. It doesn't feel like anything's going to break. And as long as you're, careful, you can get this guy leaning all the way back to look at the tip of his tail. Look at that. Truly fantastic. Aiding in some really organic looking poses with the neck. Goddamn girl, what that neck do? Oh yeah, there's something wrong with me. We've got a floating piece of the body over here which will accommodate with moving up and down and all around. Very, very nice. This piece right here is one solid piece, but at the bottom is going to be another ball joint. Aiding in a very beautiful lean down in combination with the neck. I mean, Jesus Christ, miss. As well as an Oscar award worthy bend from side to side. Like, dude, why is this so friggin' flexible? Why in heaven's name is SH MonsterArts making me love them so much? Look at that curve. Fantastic. And of course, we will get a nice little side to side and roll around over here. And just like the piece at the neck, this piece is going to be a loose fitter as well. At the legs, we will be able to move out. Not very far. Out and in, out and in, out and in, out and in. Thankfully, these legs can indeed rotate all the way around, as you can see. It's just moving out and in that they're not the greatest at. Although this one's a bit better. At the pointy knee over here, we can kick up about that far, back in pretty decently. We're gonna get a ball joint at the ankle over here, up and down. Oh yeah, we're gonna get a ball joint in there as well, my bad. Along with a significantly fantastic pivot. That's Transformers levels of a pivot, walking on the sides of his feet. We'll also get a swivel at the knee, and a swivel over here at the ankle. It's a ball joint after all, and you know how the saying goes. The arms are a bit kinder with the ball jointiness, as they can move out and up rather far. Full rotation, as you'd expect. Bends in and out at the elbow over here. Moderate swivel. Nice hinge at the wrist over here to move up and down, as well as a nice swivel. And if you rotate the joint while it's still in the hand, you can move the hands from side to side instead of up and down. Easy stuff to accomplish with the right amount of movement. And now for these wings, which I'm sure you've already known and could tell aren't solid pieces of fuck off nothing. At the back over here, you can move the wings in and out very nicely. They can also swivel all the way around back here. At the tip of the wing over here, you can hinge out and back in for a nice semi-folded up wing look or a nice display of intimidation. Oh yeah, this piece can also swivel. I forgot. These two pieces of the wings over here are also going to be on ball joints, so they can shift in and out to cover up any holes in the imagery for your poses. And honestly, I never thought I would like having something like this on a figure, but now that I actually have it, I think it looks pretty damn good. Helps with the curvature of the wing too. And this piece up here has no articulation, save for what I showed off over here. Either way, these wings can do a lot more than what I'm personally used to with SH MonsterArts, and I positively friggin' love it. But the love fest continues, as we still need to talk about the tail, which... Jesus Christ. Check out this curve in, bruh. That is fantastic. And the curves to the side are just as fantastic, and I can't get over it. I mess around with this tail so much because it's so easy to get it into a pose, and it also just doesn't feel like you're wasting your friggin' time trying to pose a friggin' breadstick of a tail like some Godzilla figures have. This is just magnificent. I feel like the tail actually has enough room in it to get curves and everything, and it actually holds the friggin' pose. Look at this, the curvature. Practically about to stab itself in the back. It doesn't trust itself. I love it. I love it so much. Solid star in terms of articulation. Let's move into posability. Posability-wise, this figure impresses me beyond every shadow of a doubt that I could have possibly had. From the wings, the segmentation of the wings, to the body, the neck, the mouth, the back of the head, the legs, the friggin' tail. Everything moves so very smoothly, like silk in ball jointian format. And with the inclusion of the stand being able to keep the weight of the figure up and then some, this is without a doubt one of the very best SH MonsterArts releases I have had the honor of buying, playing with, and making a video on. Shoshingeki Goji absolutely has some competition this year, as does the Figma Emmy. I was not expecting to be this impressed with this figure at all, and it took a lot for me to admit that. Yeah, SH MonsterArts cooked. This is definitely in my running for my favorite figure of the year, and Red Eyes Black Dragon just came out. Please reissue it, Bandai. I want another chance at getting it. Because if this thing is anything to go off of, Red Eyes Black Dragon is probably going to be right on next to Blue Eyes. And while I'm not really interested in getting that elemental hero from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX because... Bandai, screw Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Give me ETZilla. ETZilla! Obliterate! Anyway, I've been ShinRobjira. Do so hope you all enjoyed this review. I will see you all next week with something. I don't know. This video took a bit longer than I was really hoping, but check out my social media, my Patreon, get access to this video and others like it early. Pray for my sanity, and hope my barber gets back to me so I can get rid of all this. Bye.